Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Brazil. Really great race. Great race. Not great weekend. The sprint I suffered this kind of touch with Gasly when I was fighting for top 10, but in race, fantastic race after a not good qualifying that was very frustrating for me because I had pace to be in Q3, and unfortunately I was not able to put the lap and I started in P15. But let's check it, guys. This is the race start. I'm in the left side on our screens. I mean, I'm here more or less. I think this is my car. No, this one, sorry. The race started really conservative. Here I almost touched Ricciardo, who passed me, I think. Ricciardo passed me here. No, I fight with him. No, he is able to pass me here, I think. He's in front of me, and now at this point I'm very stuck. I stuck behind a lot of cars, and Hamilton by the outside, you can see Hamilton pass me as well. I cannot do nothing because I cannot move to the left side because it's Hamilton, and in front of me I have cars. I was like in a cage, you know. And almost here, even I touched the grass. That was the most critical moment of the Grand Prix. I think I almost lose the control of the car. I touched the grass because Hamilton didn't give me so much room, but fortunately I was able to control the car. But another RB passed me here. I think it's Tsunoda. No, Tsunoda. I think no, Ricciardo. I don't know, guys. But fortunately here my reaction was very quick and I go for it. By the inside, no, this is Tsunoda. Yeah. Again, Tsunoda, and by the outside here, I was able to regain the place with Yuki Tsunoda. Okay. After that, starting on soft tire, was about managing tires because I was stuck behind this train of cars. The Alpine was really slow. Then it was Albon, my teammate, Hamilton, and me. At this point, not much to do because in the main straight line everyone had DRS, was very difficult to pass, and the Alpine, as you can see, was retain us, you know, was slowing down the pack, and we lose ground with some cars in front, you know, that were running faster. This is lap 11. We still stuck on this train. Hamilton, for example, and Albon, as you can see, are on medium tire. That means they will make only one stop. Meanwhile, I will do 2 stops, soft, and medium. But this first stint was about to be here in this position. No chances to do too much. Lap 16. At this point, okay, the Hamilton Albon passed the Alpine that I think was Ocon. Oh, actually, I don't remember. And this is my turn. I go for it by the inside. And by side, I pass the Alpine as well. Well, this is too much later. This is lap 47. At this point, I did I think the 2 stops. I think I did the 2 stops, putting a new soft and later on a new medium. Basically, how I was able to recover from P15 to P9 at the end of the race. Well, first of all, because Leclerc and Alonso retired. That means 2 more places we gain. But what I did was to stop like 2 or 3 laps earlier than the rest in every stint. These extra 2 or 3 laps I had in every stint were the key. Hey, hi Lerchi, how are you? I missed last weekend. No, don't worry. Just right now I'm talking about the previous race in Brazil that was really good for me. So, as I was talking about, the key of this race was that basically I was stopping like 3 laps earlier than the rest in every stint. That gave me a lot of advantage in this first 2 laps or 3 laps on new tires, gaining a lot of time. And for example, this is Albon and me, okay? At this point, Albon did 1 stop, the only stop he did, to change from medium to hard, and I changed from the second set of soft to the set of mediums to the final stint. And obviously I was on medium, he was on hard, I was faster, but I had to pass him on track, basically. And this is what I tried to do. This is lap 47, and I go for it, guys. It's my teammate, I know, but I have to pass because at this point we were fighting for P11, close to fight for points. I go for it, very critical, I lock up a little bit, but very, very clean move, very good move by the way. And I passed my teammate. At this point, I'm ahead of Alex. But this is lap 67. Look at that, guys. What happened here is, at this point, Fernando Alonso and Charles Leclerc retired. And now I'm in P9. And Alex Albon is just behind. You can see at the background. This is the gap I was able to win with Alex once I passed him in 20 laps. This is all the gap I was able to achieve on 20 laps. That was around 3 seconds. I mean, the battle between me and Alex was absolutely intense every lap. I had to overdrive every single lap, like a qualifying lap, to try to pull away from Alex and to try to avoid the DRS of Alex, because if you have DRS here, you have big chances to pass the car in front. It was really hard to build this gap. And in this is lap 67 of 71. Look at this moment, guys. This moment could define the whole race. Lap 67, guys. After all hard work, I was spending these 20 laps building the gap. Look at what happened to me. This is the final part of the sector. Boom! Look at that, guys. Look at that. My rear, losing the rear completely. At this point, after all these 20 laps building the gap and driving like crazy, like an animal, in this moment, my whole race went through my mind. Like, no, don't ruin that, Danny, don't do it. But fortunately, I don't know how, I was able to control the car, guys. I lift the foot of the throttle. I try to don't move too much the steering wheel. And fortunately, the car stay on track, guys. But here, obviously, I lost like 2 seconds. And obviously, Alex, look at that. It was able to close the gap a lot with me. Fortunately, I was able to build that gap of 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Unfortunately, I only lose 2 seconds on that. I had a gap of more than 1 second. That means Alex is still having no DRS. So that means I was able to pull away Alex from the DRS in the final 4 laps to go here. And I was able to maintain the gap, guys, until the end of the race. P9, fantastic P9, fantastic driving, fantastic strategy, fantastic pit stops, fantastic move on track. You say like Verstappen when he drove for yeah, you are right. In 2014, I remember that. Yeah, it's true. I'm so good as Verstappen. Yeah, it's true. In the same corner even. It was in the same corner. Wow. Yeah, it's true. I didn't think about it. You're right. So, fantastic weekend, guys. Absolute fantastic weekend. Super happy. It's a track that I said the whole weekend. I was really competitive in any kind of game here, in any kind of Formula 1 game. I was able to get points here, and once again I did it. So, and also I gained 1 point more than Alex. So that means I still ahead of the championship. So later on we will check the stats. But before to go to that, this is the track, guys, of this weekend, Las Vegas. Guys, obviously this circuit is really new. It's the newest of the whole calendar still, because it was introduced in the last year, in 2023. It's a track that obviously I only raced here 1 time in the previous game. You can check the slipstream. It's in my channel here. Basically, this track is simple, but at the same time is tricky. It's really tricky, because obviously it's not easy at all. Just start the lap here. This is the start of the lap. Going through turn 1, okay? This track is like, for me, it's like Baku, Azerbaijan, but a bit more, let's say, simple, you know, but at the same time complex. It has some kind of interesting corners we can analyze here, because first of all, turn 1, you come here after this long straight, even turn 17 is flat out. And turn 1 is one of my favorites, because it's a corner where the track is really wide, and at the beginning, the pit exit is here. It's really dangerous, by the way. At the beginning, the track wides a lot, but it's possible to... It's like a corner where you have to start in the outside very at the beginning, and closing the line little by little, going through the inside, you know, progressively. And after that, you go to turn 3, which is very complex because it's not flat out, but I think in qualifying is like almost flat out. It's really a strange corner because the grip is really variable. It's really, sometimes I feel you have a lot of grip, in other laps you have not the grip. It's really a strange corner. The key here is to stay on the inside as normally in this kind of corners, to going wide little by little, you know, using the outside of the track. Going into the next corner, for me this section is the most complex. Turn 5, very heavy braking. Is a 90 degrees corner, classic, about braking in the right moment, turning the car, touching the apex, and going wide in the exit to get traction. And then we go, for me, for the most difficult corners. For me, one of the most difficult corners of the whole calendar. Honestly, for me, this corner I have so much troubles in the previous game. Terrible. I always going wide, guys, because it's like you have to go turning. This is flat out, guys, but it's every time turning all the time to the left side. I mean, while you are turning, you have to look at to the boards that are marking the meters before the corner. Meanwhile, you are turning to the left to prepare the car to brake. Meanwhile, you are turning. It's really complex, very complex turn, you know, corner. It's super easy to lock up the front left, sorry. Super easy to lock up because you are turning, you know. So here you have to set a good visual reference in the boards that are close to the walls to make sure that you are braking in every lap in the same point, because if not, you will lock up probably and you will go in wide. Here there is a road escape, but obviously taking this way you will lose time. So make sure you set a good visual reference here to know where braking exactly in every lap. As I said, the most difficult corner for me. We go to 7 and 8. That is a very slow chicane. This section is the rears gets very hot, and we move off to turn 9, which is very complex because it's really tight, really tight, more than you can think in when you see for the first time this corner. You know, it's super tight and quick. I don't know how to explain. It's really aggressive, the entry, you know. It's like a hairpin, and it's important to make sure you have the proper speed. You have to go through this corner really slow, and it's critical because the exit is extremely important, because this section is flat out, all flat out until turn 12. This section for me is the most important one, this and this one, because are the zones where you have to will the speed, and where you will gain more time or you will lose more time if you don't run these turns. So this braking is complex as well, because you are turning, and once you exit of this turn that is flat out, you have to close to the wall as much as possible and braking. In this braking is also one of the most critical points, because the speed is really high. You reach here and 320, something like that. Easy to go in wide as well. You have a road escape very wide. It's difficult to crash because here there is a big road escape, really deep. The wall is really far away. And anyway, obviously, if you going wide, you will lose a lot of time into rejoin the track. And obviously, traction and corner exit is critical as well, because from now you have all these long straight. It's not a straight technically, but it's flat out. Probably one of the longest section of the whole calendar along to Azerbaijan. All this part of the track. So you need to do a super clean exit, you know, to get the top speed as soon as possible to open the DRS. Obviously, in race, this is the point to overtake cars. Basically, this is basically the point to do it. Before to go to the last, let's say, corner section, because it's turn 16. After a long straight line section, you reach 340, 315 qualifying maybe. You have to brake obviously in the right way, you know, to don't miss the apex and the braking, you know. If not, you will go in wide. Very slow corner, 90 degrees. Very important, the entry and the exit to prepare the car for turn 16. That I think I'm not sure if it's almost flat out in race, because the grip here in this corner is horrible. It's super easy to spam. I'm not joking, and it's very easy corner to take, but easy to spam. So be careful, guys, on the exit, because as I said, this is like happening in other section of the track. You need a good exit to gain speed in all this section that is flat out until the start finish line, and once you finish the exit of this corner, you complete the lap. Complex circuit, guys. Well, it's not one of my favorites. I didn't enjoy it so much last year, to be honest. I have a lot of troubles, especially in this section. In this section, in turn 7, that is horrible for me. Turn 12 as well is critical. Let's say if this year I'm able to manage the setup, the tires, and this track a bit better, you know, than the previous game. Let me drink, and let's start with this weekend. So now, let me check it. Okay, guys, this is it. We are ready for a new weekend. As you can see in the calendar, we have some upgrades. We have the hydraulics for day 12 before the Grand Prix. Let's see first if we can reach these upgrades, advancing the time. Okay, this is the points resource, and yes, we have it. And now the more points.
Okay, all the new parts have been fabricated, and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Perfect, we have the new parts available. Now we have no message, specialist of the weekend. This weekend only we have available the last 4. Let's set the goals and power unit. We are almost in the middle point to reach level 2, and goals available reach a speed of 336 kilometers kph during the weekend, or finish in a better position than your teammate in the race. Obviously this one it's much easier. In material fabrication planner, we are in level 2, starting the level 2, we need a lot of points. Goals available: perform 350 gear shifts during a single session, or receive fewer than 2 corner cutting warnings penalties during the race weekend. Wow, this one I'm not sure if it's so easy. 350 gear shifts during a session. Wow, it's a lot. I'm not sure. Let's put this one. Let's try. Quality assurance tester, very close to reach level 2. We need exactly 140 points more. Goals: live and coast for 30 seconds or more during a race weekend, or spend over 50 seconds in 5th gear during a race weekend. Okay, let's set this one. I think live and coast, I'm not sure if I will do that, 30 seconds during a race weekend. I normally don't need to do live and coast. And strategy analyst, this is the part of the section of the departments that is more developed. We are in the middle point to reach the last level 3, and goals available: complete 3 practice programs during a race weekend, or earn 12 championship points during the race weekend. Wow, that's crazy. 12 points, that means I have to finish 4th or best. So let's put this one: complete 3 programs during a race weekend. Okay, that's it. Let's set as a primary specialist the power unit consultant. Driver details. Okay, the ratings. Obviously, the weekend in Brazil was for moments good, for moments was not good. It was like a roller coaster, but in general was good, because obviously the race result was very good. The sprint qualifying result was very good. Sprint result and qualifying was not so good, but I think in overall the race result is what matters most, and where I gain most of the points. As you can see, we are in the target. We are above the target we set at the beginning of the session by 3 points. That's very nice. Well, this is the accolades, and nothing interesting. Rivalry, this is very interesting. What happened after Brazil? Well, as you can see, we're still in match, because we have 2 points more than Alex, but Alex have in qualifying much better result than me. Is destroying me, 16-5. In podium finishes, we have both 0 match as well. In high gas qualifying position, I'm gaining. In race result, Albon is gaining me, but this time only by 1 point difference. If in this race I beat Alex, we will be matching race 11-11th. So that's his, and obviously if Alex beat me in this weekend, That means I won't be able to beat Alex in race result this season because only 2 more races left. As maximum, I could match Alex, but I could not be ahead in race results of Alex if I do not finish here better than him in race. So it's important. I need to finish this weekend as well ahead of Alex. And the best finish position, the same, 4th place. That means basically that is 2-2. But because we are matched in 2 sections, in podium finishes and best finish position, I have a better highest qualifying position than Alex and more championship points, and Alex is beating me in qualifying results and race results. So 2-2, guys. Basically, if I beat Alex this weekend in race results, I will be leading the rivalry, so it's very important this weekend. And the rivalry with Gasly, look at that. We only need 2 points more to gain this rivalry after the 2 points we achieved in Brazil, the 4 points we achieved in Mexico. We are really close to beat Gasly, you know, so it would be nice to reach 2 points more this weekend. Will be difficult, but obviously it's a target, you know. And the driver graph, obviously, after this weekend, most of the graphics improve. The experience, obviously, I finished the race. Race graph affected by overtakes and your finish position compared to starting position. It's really sticky. It's not increasing so much because basically in sprint the problem was that I qualified 10th, but I finished 20 in last place. That reduced a lot of points in racecraft, but by the other side, in race I started in 15 and I finished in 9th, so at the end it was balanced. I did not gain overall too much racecraft points. That's why the blue line is more or less on the same level than was in Mexico. The orange line, that is the awareness gained through clean races and reduced by collisions of track moments and DNFs. Very clean race, no track off-track moments, no DNFs. So the awareness still increasing. Pace reflects the speed in qualifying and margin to fastest lap in race. My fastest lap was very good in race, in sprint race as well. My sprint qualifying was really good. My qualifying was not so good, but overall, as you can see, now I can say that the pace, the green line, is the best one I have in all my ratings. So that's nice. And finally, the focus, that probably is my weakness. My weakness definitely, that reflects following qualifying and race results versus taking vehicle performance into account. In race and in sprint qualifying, I let's say put the car in a better place that should be, not by much, but it was. But by the other hand, in qualifying and sprint race, I did not finish where the car should to finish. So at the end, you can see that the line is still in the same level than in Mexico, but at least it's not dropping off as was dropping from the Italian Grand Prix to the United States Grand Prix. That was terrible, guys. So let's see if this weekend finally we can increase a bit more the focus. That definitely is my problem here in this game. Let's continue, and the next thing is R&D. Guys, only 3 races to go, not too much to develop, but as you can see, we have some upgrades for this weekend. Let's see what we can do. We have 884 points. With these points we can do we can introduce some upgrades. So let's see what we can do. We can introduce the redesigned brake ducts that will give us you know, more reduce the drag. For example, we can improve in chassis the brake disc width, that increase let's see, I think increase the braking or something like that. We can improve the engine cover distribution for, I think it's weight reduction. We can improve the engine cover, that is for weight reduction as well. It's a major upgrade. This one is minor. or to try to improving the tire analytics data. That was something I was trying to redevelop after failing to Grand Prix ago. This is for better tire management, to reduce the wear. That is very important. But let's see if we can continue on road. Or if they dampers that also reduce the tire wear. So it's interesting. And finally in powertrain we can develop the rotor speed. That is a major upgrade for increase more energy, to generate more energy during a lap for the battery. That's very good. Or the fuel technology efficiency. That is basically for improve the fuel consumption. That is very important as well. And in durability I won't check anything because we are really safe in this section. So wow, I have a lot of things to improve. And as I said, the development of the car in powertrain and aerodynamic, we are in a good position. I mostly in this game, in this career mode, what I improved most was the chassis, and thanks to these improvements we gain a lot of performance this year. So I think the chassis that is the weakness of this Williams is the section where we have more potential for improving, and this is what I'm gonna make, guys. I will improve something of the chassis. The question is if to improve something about the weight reduction or to improve something about the tire wear. That is very important, the tire wear, to have a better tire wear than the rivals in this game. So basically we had to thinking about where to spend points. The question is, this is very cheap, it's only 280 points. If that means if I develop this, I will have still 604 points. With 604 points I can also develop this one, the engine cover distribution. So I think what I'm gonna make is basically to increase the tire analytics that will be ready for Qatar, not for this Grand Prix. And now with the points we have, also I can improve the engine cover for a weight reduction. That should be ready if it not fails. Well, if we rush, let's try to rush, but because in that way we can have ready this upgrade for before Qatar. So let's try to play. Only I have 4 points now, so I cannot do nothing more. If we achieve this upgrade, we will pass a lot of teams in chassis performance, as you can see in the graphics. So I think I will try to put all the eggs on the same basket, you know, on the chassis. So now basically this is my upgrades before to Qatar. Let's see if they work. And Alex has no upgrades in the way. Let's see if we can improve. And you can see, by the way, and seeing the graphic, RB is in front of us right now. Wow, they evolve more than us. Wow. Okay. And finally, now, as always in practice 1 and 2, normally I try to use all components of the engine to save wear. For this practice 1 session, let's use the second engine. Let's use, well, this is very safe. Let's use this one, the heat as well. But it's very good in a very good position. But let's use the second one. In the energy store, let's use the second one. The turbo, let's use the the second. And gearbox, let's use the third gearbox. So in that way, and in control electronics, the first. We can save a bit more of the components. And in tire allocation, well, I don't remember so much how much tire wear or tire degradation suppose this track. I think not so much. It's a circuit, it's a street circuit obviously, but I think this is a track that is not very demanding on tires. There are not so many corners, so, and we are using the softest, that's true, we are using the softest tire range, C5, C4, C3. That means the C5, that is the red, will be really fragile. It's the softest. It's a very fragile tires, as we talked a lot in the past. But I think in this track you need soft tires, so I think basically we need the softer allocation, guys, because especially in qualifying it's about soft tires, you know. So let's use the soft tire allocation this weekend. Finally, before to go to the Grand Prix weekend, let's check the standings. Obviously Max Verstappen won again. It's crazy how the level of Verstappen, he only failed 3 races. He's champion since long time. Leclerc and Alonso is interesting, both fighting for P2 in the standings, both DNF in Brazil at the same time. The battle is still on. Perez finished third. He's closing a bit to Alonso and Leclerc, but he's still far away. He needs to improve to stay in front in the races of them to try to fight for that P2. Russell finished second. He's doing a good run now. First in Mexico, second in Brazil. 202 points. Norris 1 point behind Russell. He needs good results. Long time from last time in the podium Norris since Italy. Then is Sainz, a bit 11 points off Norris. Then is Hamilton. Hamilton terrible season. A lot of DNFs. Very far away from the top 8. And then is Piastri. Not a good season as well, and Stroll very bad season. And after Stroll, our league, you can see that my mission for the championship is to finish in P11, the position where we are now. For me, P11 is like P1 because, as you know, the bottom 5 teams, we are fighting in a completely different league of the top 5 teams. And as you can see, 2 consecutive races in points now. Finish 8th in Mexico, 9th in Brazil now. That means I have now 2 points more than Albon, who scored points also in Brazil. Now 2 points ahead of Alex, but obviously this battle is not over yet. 3 races to go. The battle between me and Alex for that P11 will be really intense. And Tsunoda even is there. Tsunoda is there with 21 points. Gasly a bit far away. I'm not sure if he's in the battle. He's in 17 points. I think Tsunoda have possibilities still to beat me. And then after Gasly, now we have the bottom 6. They are very far away. Ricciardo 5 points, Magnussen 4 points, Bottas 3 points, Ocon 1 point, and Joe and Hülkenberg still having no points. So our fight is with Albon and Tsunoda probably to finish in P11. And in the constructors, fortunately Alex and me, we are doing an amazing season. And I think I can say at 90% that our 6th place in the constructors is secure, you know. We have a big advantage with RB, and I don't think they will be able to achieve so many points to catch us, you know, in the last 3 races. But who knows, if we have a crazy race, maybe, but I don't expect that. Red Bull, who is champion, and Ferrari will be second probably. Mercedes and McLaren are fighting for the P3, and Aston Martin probably will be P5. Well, after that, yeah, the trophies. I hope to finish the last 3 races. I would like to finish on points in all of them. Let's see. And the stats, you can see more than 12,000 kilometers driven, almost 2,000 laps complete, average finish grid 14. 27 points, 1 fastest lap. So guys, move on now. Finally, before to go to the race weekend in 15 minutes, let's see if we have rain, what kind of forecast we have for this Grand Prix, and the evolution of our rivals in the development race. So we go for Las Vegas. We are ready. Let's go, guys. And as always, thank you for watching so much. Thank you, Lerchi, for your support as well. I hope to have your support this weekend as well. And a tricky weekend. I'm not fan of the street circuits on this game. The street circuits were horrible for me, all of them in this game. Let's see if this one that is the last, finally I can achieve a good result, because basically we're terrible. Monaco DNF after multiple crashes. Azerbaijan DNF in lap 17, a crash. Miami, terrible weekend. Singapore, I was disqualified, but terrible weekend as well. So let's see finally here. Okay, no, well, we have rain in practice 3. but in qualifying and race, no rain. So okay, dry will be a dry weekend. Messages. This is that we have 2 hards, 3 mediums, and 8 soft. Development. We have 3 upgrades, guys. 5. Sorry, 5. Especially the hydraulics for weight reduction, I think, and the weather forecast. As you can see, no rain at all. So finally, let's see the development race where we are, guys. Okay, Visa Kashab officially is ahead of us again. They improve a lot this weekend, a lot, massive step forward did RB. So that means basically we improve as well, but not so much as RB. Alpine now is the latest, the slowest car, because Sauber and Haas also developed the car. The distance between Alpine and RB, these bottom 5 teams, is even reduced. And the distance with McLaren and Aston Martin also is a bit reduced, but obviously they are still far away from us. But little by little, the performance of the cars is being compressing. From the beginning of the session until now, the whole lines are the gap is minor, or is less than at the beginning of the season, so that's nice. That means we have more chances. Let's see. Obviously we need the top 5 cars do a bad race or bad qualifying to try to catch the last points, but this is what happened in Mexico and in Brazil. We were able to capitalize these races with points, so why not thinking about to finish on points once again this weekend for 3rd time in a row. So I think it's possible. So now finally it's time for practice, guys. Practice 1 now already. This weekend we have the tire management, track acclimatization and race strategy programs. And as I said, this is something you will be able to watch only on Twitch in 12 minutes, guys. Just 12 minutes I will be racing on Twitch. Follow me there. We are ready for racing. I hope to see you there in just 12 minutes. I will finish now the live. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for the moment. Let's see how goes this weekend, and see you in 11 minutes now on Twitch. Thanks for watching and see you on Twitch. Bye bye.